We begin today's International Customs Day celebration 2016 with the traditional lighting of the lamp. May I invite our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, former Judge and Supreme Court of India, former Judge Supreme Court of India, to do the honors, please. I request our Chief Commissioner and the Principal Commissioner to light the lamp, please. Prayers go up and blessings shower down. For the invocation, may I invite Srimati Savita Natarajan.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Shubhalam, Malayaj Sheetalam, Sasya Shamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Subhrajyotsna Pulakitayaminim, Pullakusumita Dramadhala Shobhinim, Subhashinim, Sumadhurabhashinim, Sukadam Varadam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
Thank you for that befitting invocation, Savita. A smile is the universal welcome. We also strengthen it with words. May I invite our Commissioner of Customs, Chennai 5 Commissionerate, Shri K. Chandrasekhar IRS, to deliver the welcome address, please.
Distinguished Chief Guest, Honorable Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, former Judge of Supreme Court of India and former Chairman of Law Commission of India, Chief Commissioner of Customs, Chennai Zone, Honorable Vice Chairman, members of the Settlement Commission, and Honorable members of Central Excise Tribunal, former Chairman and members of Central Board of Excise and Customs and senior retired officers of the government, members of the trade and representatives of various associations, principal commissioners, my colleagues and friends. Good afternoon to all of you. Today is a very significant day for the custom pharmacists in the country as we gather here to celebrate the International Customs Day, which is normally celebrated on 26 January by all the member countries of WCO to commemorate the official inauguration of the Customs Cooperation Council, which was later renamed as WCO. However, In India, the program is celebrated on 27 January, as 26 January happens to be a Republic Day. The World Customs Organization, with about 180 member countries, is an independent intergovernmental body with an objective to increase the effectiveness of customs administration all over the world. Every year, the WCO mandates a specific theme to be celebrated by all the customs organizations of the world, and the theme for the current year is Digital Customs Progressive Engagement, which highlights the significance of automation in world trade and provides an opportunity to Customs Department to further promote use of information and confirmation technology, leading to enhancements of trade facilitation. Therefore, on this momentous occasion to celebrate the International Customs Day in Chennai, it is befitting to us to have a legal luminary as a chief guest. We take great privilege and honor in welcoming Honorable Dr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, former Judge, Supreme Court of India, and former Chairman, Law Commission of India. We thank you, sir, for having agreed to come and grace this occasion by sparing your valuable time. On behalf of officers, staff of Chennai Customs Zone, we extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, any program of this magnitude requires planning, organizing, and execution. The architect of today's program is undoubtedly our own Chief Commissioner, whose involvement and dedication inspires us to do our best. We thank you, sir, for all the encouragement given to us. I would also like to take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to Honorable Vice Chairman, members of Settlement Commission, and Honorable members of CHAT. Sir, your very presence is motivating for all of us. Welcome, sir. I would like to get to the notice of the audience that today we have with us the retired officer of the department, former chairman and members of CBEC. For the benefit of the younger audience, I would like to remind that we have with us Sukumar Shankar sir, Sridhar sir, N. Rajagopalan, Sir Venkatramani, Vittalda sir, and Ponuswamy sir. So, though you have retired from service, we would like to remember you, and we are very happy and honored to have all of you, sir. I would also like to take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to all the members of the trade, representatives of various associations for joining us in today's celebration. At the same time, I would also extend a warm welcome to the members of the media, both the visual and the print media. We hope that proper awareness is created in the media regarding the significant achievement of the department. Lastly, I welcome the Principal Commissioners, Commissioners of Customs, and all my colleagues and senior officers for the International Customs Day celebration. It's my pleasure once again to extend a warm welcome to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you all for a visual treat for your senses and sensibilities. May I invite Shri C.M. Madanagopal, IRS, Assistant Commissioner EDI, for a RFID video demo and UCC software PowerPoint session.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this International Customs Day celebration 2016. Uncleared unplanned cargo, the status of which is a big question mark both for the Customs Department as well as the custodians. Nobody is aware as to how many containers are lying in the CFS, what is the status, and how much of revenue is hidden in those containers. So this is a big private-public partnership, and we have gone ahead with this software by collaborating with NACFS Association and our department. and testing of the software has been done successfully, and at any moment this will be integrated with our website. And I also like to tell this august audience that on behalf of Customs Department, the NACFS has been awarded with the WCA certification for this project which they initiated with us. And today, Mr. Arun, Chairman NACFS, and Mr. Padmanabhan, Treasurer NACFS, will be receiving the award in Delhi. And so they'll not be with us. I'll go ahead with the PowerPoint presentation of UCC. There are many benefits of this uncleared uncargo software. As you all know, we have a big cluster of CFSs. There are 34 in number, and we have 2 ICDs and 3 ports. And also the paperwork involved in submitting the lot files is huge, time consuming and laborious. And the status, as I said before, is very difficult to find out with whom the file is and what is the status of each cargo. And again, as you know, the container occupies a lot of space, and both in the port as well as in the CFSs, and also the foreign exchange, because all these containers are foreign containers. A lot of foreign exchange is held up. The moment we release those containers as early as possible, we'll save foreign exchange to that extent. So we had to think up of an idea as to how to do the tracking of these containers. So we went ahead with the software. So now with this software, we'll know where these containers are pending, and also this will be a seamless operation, and also it will facilitate in the easy clearance of the perishable cargoes at the earliest. And keeping with the Government of India slogan, it will also facilitate ease of doing business. It will facilitate the trade, and keeping with our motto of digitalizing India, and also our as our commissioner said, WCO progressive customs, digitalization customs. And this is one of the concepts of digitalization which we have brought forward this year, along with the next PPT which I will be giving on RFID. The benefit of the online system is it will be easier of doing business, quicker disposal of cargo, trade facilitation, and a release of revenue to the department, and also foreign exchange will be saving to a great extent. The silent feature of UCC software is this will be both useful for the custodian as well as the customs, and it is a very secure site. And the CFS will have a separate login password, and again our officers will have a separate user ID and password. Each other CFS, they will not be able to use the others' data, and it's very secure. And at any point of time, the department will know what is the status of the cargo. And as this, because it's online, anytime anyone can log in and see the status. And the benefit, as you know, there are 5 ways in which the cargo can be disposed of by filing a BE. Again, the cargo can be auctioned and released, and it can be given for destruction, and also the cargo can be adjudicated or confiscated, and again it can be given to the disposal section to dispose of the cargo once again when auctioning. The details of the software is, as I said, it has a separate username password, and it's a very secure site. Only each CFS can log only into their site. They cannot use anybody else's site. And this is the home screen of the CFS, and it will give the status. What is the number of files they have submitted completely, and how many is still pending, and what is the status of each lot files they have submitted. Whether notice 1 is given, 2 was given, whether valuation has been done, examination by the customs department has done, whether it has been auctioned. And there in their CFS home screen, all the data will be entered right from because you know many of the UCC cargo, the Bs are not failing. So we go with the unique thing of a IGM number. So it'll have the system will generate an automatic job number, and we'll be giving entering the IGM number, line number, and what is the cargo, and all the details, the vessel in which it has arrived, and to which port it has arrived, and many details will be given in that. And For each of the options that the CFS has, they can also edit it before uploading it. They can also save the uh, hard copy and upload it in the screen and use. And once they upload it, the department can use the data and the hard copy that they uploaded. And they can every time keep the status updated when the NOC is given, and again the status of the file, where it is pending, and the moment the lot file is put up for auction, and all these entries, and each step, a lot of care has been taken to go through each step in which the UC cargo has to go through, and the status can be seen anytime. And this is again a valuation screen where our authorized valuers will do the valuation, and as it is, our PO will do the examination, and it will go again for auction. This is a home screen of for our department. In a single shot, you'll see that the status of all the container freight station will be available, of all the files of, all the containers. What is the status? It will give in one shot. And these screens, only the department can make entries, and we can also enter all the present status of the file. And again, we can go into details by saying into where it is pending, like which group, or whether it's held by any other agency like DRI or SIB or DIU. And once all the papers are proper, and it will go in for value, after the valuation, it will go in for auction. And all these entries will be made for the auction also. And what is the value, how much it is fit. And once the auction is gone through, and then manual B will be generated, and we are going for the automation for the same also, and what is the price it has fetched. These processes will be done as fast as possible, and so the containers will be released immediately. Thank you. I'll be taking through through a video on RFID. This is once again an initiative of customers. As the first time it is going to be done anywhere in India, and this is a long felt need of everyone. Like, we don't know where the containers are, we don't know whether they are safe and secure, we don't know when the container leaves the port, whether it reaches the terminal, from the terminal to the CFS properly. Again, we don't know whether the cargo is intact, the seal is intact, and why the delay, how long it is taking. And when it comes to the CFS, we don't know whether that is the correct container and the correct trailer which has brought this cargo. So it was an initiative of a chief commissioner that we should go in for the latest way, and it should be secure. Like, so we are brought in with this RFID demo. It will have an electronic e-seal, and it will have all the data on that e-seal, and it cannot be tampered. Once it's tampered, it will send an alert to the system, and also an SMS alert. Again, there's an RFID tagging for the trailer. So all the data will be tagged on the trailer, right from the driver's name, license, from which port it has come, what is the IGM number, what is the BE number, and what is the cargo, what is the registration number of the vehicle, till when is the RC is valid. All these details will be available in the e-seal. There will be a reader along with the camera placed at the terminal and also at the CFS. So it can be monitored from the CFS to the terminal, and vice versa from terminal to CFS. Volume please.
We are at the zero gate complex of Chennai port. This is the entry and exit gate complex. Vehicles come from the CFS after picking up the containers or to pick up the containers through these lanes. This is lane number 1, lane number 2, lane number 3, 4. There are 4 exit lanes. Vehicle after dumping the container at one of the 2 terminals, CITPL or CCTL, pick up the container or go empty to the CFS concerned. Now that is through the exit gates which are there. This complex has got 8 gates, 4 for entry and 4 for exit. The typical problems over here were delay in checking, delay in process automation over here. We are making use of RFID technology, wherein we have used fixed RFID tags on the inner windscreen of the vehicles. This is the RFID tag. You have the tag number over here. This tag number is associated with all the relevant data. This tag is associated with various data like the vehicle number, the engine number, the chassis number, license of the driver, the validity of the license of the driver, all this data along with the photograph of the driver and the vehicle. We have here one camera and one RFID reader per lane along with the software. The RFID reader picks up the tag which is stuck on the vehicle, reads the data and displays the relevant data required at the CISF on the display screens. You have here the dashboard of the data that has been captured by the RFID reader reading the RFID tag at the 0 gate lane 1. You have here trailer information, you have driver information, you have the driver image and in the trailer image. In the trailer information, you have trailer registration number, the trailer pass number, the trailer pass expiry, when the pass is going to expire, the validity of the pass, the container number, the size of the container, the shipping seal number, the line seal number, the custom seal, the CFS exit time, the name of the CFS from where it has come. There is a green and yellow button over here. The green button includes allow, the red button includes reject. So if the allow is proceeded, the allow button is pressed, the vehicle moves forward. We are at the in gate of DP World or CCTL as it's known. There are 4 lanes in this in gate. Over here you have the customs house just behind this. This customs house caters to all the 4 in lanes. This is the RFID reader behind me. One reader is for the truck RFID tag. The reader which is facing on this side is for the customs seal. The customs seal is on the back of the container and the seal has to be read for integrity. The camera is also attached over here. As soon as the RFID tag is read by the RFID reader, the camera is triggered to take an image of the vehicle and also as the vehicle moves forward, the data is displayed in the dashboard in the custom screen. As the vehicle passes this reader, the reader which is facing this side is then reading the seal on the customs lock seal, and that seal is displayed. This basically to determine the integrity of the container seal that is not tampered. This vehicle has been cleared at the 0 gate and it has now come to DP World in gate. The tag of the vehicle is there. Tags have been fixed at the CFS. All the data has been associated over there. The data which will be displayed on the CCTL dashboard. This is the RFID enabled seal fixed at the container freight stations for the customs lock. There is an passive RFID tag integrated with the seal. The RFID reader which you saw earlier, that reads the seal and displays the number. This is to indicate the integrity of the seal. We are at customs office in DP World. This is at the in gate of DP World. There are 4 lanes over here. Lane 1, lane 2, lane 3 and lane 4. As the vehicle comes in, At each of the lanes, the data is displayed on the dashboard pertaining to what has been captured from data associated in the CFS. The data includes the location, the CFS location and name from which CFS it has proceeded, container data like container number, container seal number, custom seal number, copy of Form 13, then copy of then the e-seal, and then the copy of shipping bill number where the customs officer has signed. So this data pertains to all the 4 lanes, whichever the vehicle comes. The RFID reader on each lane captures the data, and the data is displayed lane wise. The image of the vehicle is also displayed. There is a facility for the customs officers to accept or reject a vehicle. Once the vehicle is accepted, the image is flashed on a screen in DP World, also the DP World dashboard, where the Form 13 data of the vehicle is displayed along with the message where the customs has accepted this vehicle for clearance.
Thank you, it becomes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are well aware that the theme of this year's for the ICD is Digital Customs Progressive Engagement. Chennai Customs Zone has created a souvenir on this, and now may I request our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, to release the souvenir, please. Thank you, sir. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Only an excellent helmsman can motivate such individual excellence, channelize it, and transform it to palpable progress and growth of an organization. We have such a leader in our Chief Commissioner, and with great honor and pleasure, I invite our Chief Commissioner of Customs, Chennai Customs Zone, Shri S. Ramesh IRS, to address the gathering.
Distinguished Chief Guest, Honorable Dr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, former Judge of the Supreme Court and former Chairman, Law Commission of India. Honorable Vice Chairman, members of the Settlement Commission, Honorable members of the SISTAT, special invitees, Additional Solicitor General, our Departmental Legal Counsels, Port Trust Chairman, our very senior and distinguished galaxy of retired officers, Sri Sukumar Sankar Shar, Chairman retired, Sri V. Sridhar, Chairman retired, Sri N. Rajagopalan, member, Sri K.S. Venkatramani, member, Sri Vittal Das, member, Sri Veerayan, member, Sri K.S. Sivaraman, our beloved Coast Director Nason, Sri Ponnusamy, Principal ADG retired, senior officers, chief commissioners, additional director generals, commissioners of the department, representatives of the trade and industry, CHE association representatives, representatives of various trade bodies, our esteemed guest, Sri R. Sundarlingam, international drug expert who served with distinction in Interpol, representatives of the media and press, my dear colleagues and friends, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to one and all of you. I deem it a proud privilege and honor to be in the midst of this august gathering on a very important occasion for the entire customs fraternity. Today, we are celebrating International Customs Day with this assembly of all stakeholders concerned. Indeed, we are honored and privileged to have as our chief guest such a legal colossus and a visionary whom we look upon, I dare say, as our friend, philosopher and guide. As a former judge of the Supreme Court and Chief Justice of 3 High Courts, Kerala, Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh, Justice Dr. A.R. Lakshmanan has the unique distinction of delivering almost over 98,000 judgments in a span of 18 years. He is popularly known as the judge who wouldn't reserve judgments because he would promptly deliver them then and there. Almost all his rulings have been in fact delivered in the open court in the presence of both the parties. His landmark judgments have blazed a new trail in several areas including taxation and civil and criminal jurisprudence. His Lordship's great humanitarian and social concern can be seen in his various landmark judgments. His Lordship's 1999 judgment of Kerala High Court in appeal led to the banning of smoking in public places, vindicated in the Supreme Court subsequently. Noticing the plight of several thousands of daily wagers who sought to be regularized, in another of his landmark judgment in the Supreme Court, his Lordship gave relief to these hapless laborers. At the same time, his Lordship came down heavily on the striking government employees, holding that government employees cannot hold society to ransom by going on strike to vindicate the grievances. As Chairman of the Law Commission of India for over 2 years, his Lordship has submitted over 18 reports on several very important issues ranging from anticipatory bail, dowry debts, acid attacks, humanization and decriminalization of attempt to commit suicide, rash and negligent driving, and English as a language of the Supreme Court and the High Courts. Our chief guest has had several occasions to deal with matters relating to customs in his vast canvas of experience in the bench and the bar, and we are fortunate indeed to have the benefit of his invaluable insight, his guidance and advice on all such matters. The theme of International Customs Day this year is Digital Customs, Progressive Engagement. Indian Customs, I'm happy to say, is in the forefront of ushering in digital customs with its robust ICES system, which is an automated workflow system across India. Over 90 lakh documents, customs documents, are filed and processed electronically every year in the system, and almost rupees 650 crores is paid electronically every year, every day under the system. The ICES system handles over 80,000 electronic message exchanges every day with other stakeholders. In a couple of months from now, the Customs Single Window project will enable seamless electronic interface with several other government agencies like FSSAI, plant quarantine, etc., replacing the present manual documents like NOC, licenses or test reports with the electronic versions of the same. This will enormously speed up the customs clearance of imported goods. Chennai Customs Zone has taken the lead in the march towards digital customs by launching, as you saw, the online tracking and monitoring system for unclaimed, uncleared cargo last month. This unique and innovative project has been brought about with close collaboration with all stakeholders concerned, especially the National Association of CFS. As a due recognition for their efforts, Sri M.S. Arun and Sri Padmanabhan of NACFS have been awarded the WCO Certificate of Merit in Delhi. Thanks to the recommendation from this office, they have been granted this certificate today in the Delhi function of the International Customs Day. This fruitful partnership with all the stakeholders like NACFS highlights the underlying theme of digital customs progressive engagement of the WCO. Likewise, one of our officers, Sri Subramaniam, Superintendent Preventive, who has done pioneering work in digitization of airport passenger baggage documents and procedures, has also been awarded the WCO Certificate of Merit today in Delhi. Other officers who have been displayed such exemplary performance in Chennai Customs Zone would also be recognized today by the Honorable Chief Guest shortly. The other digital customs projects on the anvil in Chennai Customs Zone include the RFID tracking of container systems, the customs bonded warehouse module, etc. I am confident that the officers and staff of Chennai Customs Zone will roll out these projects after due consultation with all the stakeholders. Sir, such awards and appreciation go a long way in keeping the levels of motivation and the zest for innovation very high. I always believe that it is the entire team which deserves the trophy, as every person has contributed his or her best. Having worked for over 2 years in Chennai Customs Zone, I do not have enough words to adequately praise the high levels of dedication, sincerity, and professionalism of the officers and staff of Chennai Customs Zone. I can proudly state that the senior officers of CBEC often look to Chennai Customs for any important report or suggestion. All this has been made possible because of the solid foundation laid by my erstwhile senior colleagues and stalwarts who have come here today, especially those who rose to become the chairman, members, and other senior level officers of the Customs Department, who worked for several decades in Chennai Customs. Sirs, with your valuable guidance and tireless efforts, we are bearing the fruits today, and we will always gratefully remember you. We also thank Sri Rajagopal, Additional Solicitor General, and the entire battery of legal experts in the panel of counsels of the Customs Department, who always extend their best legal advice and argue for us in the complex legal issues before the court. We look forward to your continued support and cooperation. Sri R. Sundarlingam, the renowned Interpol drug expert, is here with us today. Sir, we are grateful for the keen interest you take in to train and sensitize our customs officers on the current global drug scenario based on your vast expertise and experience. We hope you will continue to guide us as you have been doing so for the last several decades. I am happy also to say on this occasion that Chennai Customs Zone has embarked on the biggest infrastructure project ever done so far by proposing a massive scheme costing over 390 crores for construction of over 750 flats by CPWD for our officers and staff. This will be at the Central Revenue Colony, Annanagar. We are also trying to further increase the office and residential areas by way of renting of hired premises from Chennai Port Trust, as well as construction of buildings on our own land to cater to the high demand that is arising due to the recent cadre restructuring. We extend a grateful thanks to all the stakeholders present here today. With the excellent cooperation and coordination among the various government agencies, the Customs Clearance Facilitation Committee, launched under the directives of the Honorable Cabinet Secretary, has been meeting in Chennai every month and has helped forge closer ties so as to enhance trade facilitation and to improve the ease of doing business. I am glad to inform this August gathering that Chennai Customs Zone is poised to surpass the revenue target for the entire year, that is 34,850 crores, even by February this year. The entire revenue collected in March 2016 would be a bonus of sorts. Behind the good news lies the unstinted efforts of all the officers and staff of Chennai Customs Zone in ensuring that the target is achieved without in any way restricting any amount due to the taxpayer. On this occasion, I would like to thank our friends from the press and the media who have always given their support and cooperation to us. We hope that the positive news about the proactive measures and steps taken by the Customs Department towards trade facilitation and improvement in the ease of doing business reaches wider sections of the public. When the citizens in Chennai and surrounding areas recently were affected by the floods and they needed help, the press release given by Chennai Customs Zone about the facilities and concessions for duty-free import of relief material from donors abroad helped several people in getting timely aid. In fact, the Indian Red Cross Society has commended the efforts of Chennai Airport Customs officers who work day and night literally to ensure prompt release of such duty-free imported relief material for the flood victims in December last year. On the occasion of the International Customs Day, we would like to reiterate our commitment to provide the best taxpayer service, to ensure reduction in dwell time, to improve the service delivery standards with respect to all taxpayers, while giving the best possible facilities and all encouragement to the officers and staff working in this zone. Henry Ford once said, "Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is success." Having come together, we in Customs and all our stakeholder friends, we are now keeping together and we have also started working together. I am sure that this spirit of cooperation will grow stronger in the days to come and ensure success in the collaboration in the national cause. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. Sir, we are very sure that we will reach our goals under your captaincy and guidance. Arthur Quiller Couch, in his Oxford Book of English, quoted, "The best is the best, though 100 judges have declared it so." And we all know that the roots of such achievement lie in the will to become the best that you can become. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have with us the best of the best. An Araneri Annal, Arundava Chemmal, Anmiga Tirupani Semmal, the dynamic Indian of the decade, and to top it all, the Vishwa Bandhu. I have only quoted a few of the awards bestowed on our chief guest. Honorable Dr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, our chief guest, is renowned and revered not only for his distinguished judicial legal career and excellence, but also for his excellence as a writer, orator, humanitarian, a spiritualist, and the list is endless. His Varalaatru Suvadgal and his autobiography, Kalamellam Vasandam, take you on an inspirational journey that make you a better person as we finish the books. I take great honor and privilege in inviting our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, former Judge, Supreme Court of India, to deliver his address on this occasion of International Customs Day 2016.
No. Respected Chief Commissioner of Customs, Shri Ramesh, Commissioner of Customs, Shri Chandrasekhar, Mr. Chari, and Shri Sanjay Kumar Agarwal, distinguished retired commissioners and the members in service and members of the legal fraternity, I deem it a great honor and privilege to participate in this very evening pleasant function, the International Customs Day, which is to be celebrated on 26th of January, but it is being celebrated today, the 27th of January. I am glad to know that this day is celebrated with a specific theme every year. During the previous years, the International Customs Day was celebrated with various themes such as customs business partnership, knowledge, connectivity, innovation, communication, coordinated border management in 2015. These reflect incremental approaches by the international customs community in meeting the vision of borders divide, customs connect. The World Customs Organization, as I told you earlier, has announced this year will be dedicated to promoting the digitalization of customs processes under the slogan Digital Customs Progressive Engagement, which is a silver lining to the Government of India's dream of Digital India Power to Empower. CBEC has taken all earnest endeavors in turning these dreams into a reality. More so, Chennai Customs has tempered itself to stay forefront by putting strong systems in place. I need not explain about the term digital customs to all of you. The new era of digital customs has transformed the way that customs operates. Ultimately, it ensures progressive engagement with all stakeholders, the enhanced the ability of customs administrations to seamlessly communicate, process goods, receive and exchange information, coordinate border activities, collaborate on law enforcement actions, and promote transparency. Improved technologies thus have the ability to positively impact and transform the customs landscape through improved compliance as a result of increased access to regulatory information and functions, faster clearance times for legitimate trade, enhanced coordination between customs units, as well as between customs and other border regulatory agencies at the national and international level, enhanced detection of irregularities and illicit consignments through the collection and analysis of data. I am glad to hear that the Central Board of Excise and Customs has initiated several measures to bring about a positive engagement. 24/7 customs clearance, single window project, adoption of digital signature, setting up of customs clearance facilitation committee to ensure expeditious clearance of exempt goods. A high-level administrative committee has been put in place under the chairmanship of Chief Commissioner and Commissioner. The Chennai Customs Zone has carried forward these initiatives and is in the forefront of the innovations in digital customs. Chennai Customs Zone has been actively engaging with the stakeholders in the private as well as public sector and has rolled out online tracking and monitoring system of UCC, that is unclaimed and uncleared goods, cargo and radio frequency identification, which is the technology solution for automatic identification and capture of data, tracking of container movements, etc. These initiatives have been appreciated at the Chief Commissioners Conference and are now being taken up by all the other customs frontiers in the country. The customs has taken the lead role, including all stakeholder agencies of the trade, also hand-holding the other government departments to scale up and integrate their systems to achieve compatibility and interconnectivity with the robust and time-tested Indian customs EDI systems. All these measures shall go a long way in ease of doing business by lowering the transaction cost and reducing the time for customs clearance. I am glad to know that 3 commissionerates in Chennai Customs Zone have been awarded Sevotum certificate by the Bureau of Indian Standards, signifying the achieving of excellence in service delivery. This certification is a trade facilitation measure which ensure expeditious clearance of import and export cargo, ease of doing business with the department, reduction in transaction cost due to adherence to time limit, following the standard set by international best practices, and efficient public grievances redressal mechanism. I congratulate the Chennai Customs 6 commissionerates for the certification given. The Indian constitutional framework, regardless of its shortcomings and misgivings, is the best role model in the entire universe. It is unity in diversity. With a staggering number of 1.22 billion Indians, India has the rule of law, existence of fundamental rights in practice, a true political democracy, and an independent judiciary empowered with a true effective remedy of judicial review to correct the administrative and legislative decisions. The vibrant sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic vests in its people a power to give a mandate to declare successful or unsuccessful a political government in the ultimate power of the right to exercise their franchise. With such huge numbers in such a big territorial jurisdiction, democracy in its true form is the hallmark of justice, social, economic, and political. The fundamental rights guaranteed under Part 3 of the Constitution of India are sacrosanct, and in their protection, the higher judiciary can declare any law invalid if it offends the supreme freedom of the subjects. Directive principles of state policy in Part 4 of the Constitution, not being its goal, ideals, aspirations, and well-meaning ideology, makes it stand out. Only we have to make it workable and successful. The transformation of India in the last decade as an economic powerhouse and its integration into the globalized trade and commerce has brought some stability and hope for those in governance. Development and progress of our nation hinges upon technology, commerce, and most importantly, faith in legal processes to enhance equity and resolve disputes in a peaceful manner. Thus, our past phased growth in technology and commerce cannot be sustained if our people lose faith in the legal process and the rule of law. We must necessarily introspect on how, in an ancient civilization such as ours, respect for the rule of law has been withering despite the relative improvement in our economic position since independence and technological advances that we have achieved. Consciously or unconsciously, society has elevated the judge to a carefully protected eminence. Common citizens acknowledge and regard courts as sacrosanct, right from the magistrate's court to the Supreme Court. Indeed, a judge is an epitome of manners in men as the highest personage of law. As the chairman of Law Commission of India for 3 years, it was incumbent upon me to reflect on the state of administration of justice in our country, on the performance of the third branch of the government, on its relentless efforts to improvise on the implementation of the tasks assigned to it under the Constitution of India, and the need for necessary changes in the Indian legal system as and when the need arises. It is useful and beneficial to all of you present here to sum up the rulings of our Supreme Court, of which I am the party. I am one of the party. In one case, a criminal proceedings, the Supreme Court has held criminal proceedings for an offense which was compromised and settled under the civil proceedings amounts to double jeopardy. As per Kar Vivad Samadhan Scheme, 1998, whoever is granted the benefit under the said scheme is granted immunity from prosecution from any offense under the Customs Act, 1962, including the offense of evasion of duty. In the circumstances, the complaint filed against the appellant is unsustainable, as the customs duty has already been paid. The central government has not suffered any financial loss. In the present case, the alleged criminal liability stands compounded on a settlement with respect to the civil issues, and therefore the first information report was erroneously issued and was totally unwarranted. It is also a settled law that once a civil case has been compromised and the alleged offense has been compounded, to continue the criminal proceedings thereafter would be an abuse of judicial process. In my book, The Voice of Justice, I said, the new millennium has witnessed chairs all around. The state, as a custodian of the common good, has pledged itself to economic growth, social development, and environmental protection, and simultaneously secure for India a place in the global map. The old concept of taxation as a tool to raise revenues is no longer extant. Taxing enactment can be the means to secure economic growth and social justice. The taxpayer, as well as the tax gatherer, must be not only diligent, but also must exercise abundant care and caution in ascertaining what the real income is that is eligible to tax, and what would be the tax that becomes payable on the real income. Therefore, it is not the case that the tax collected by the government is entirely in respect of the income that is liable to tax. There may be certain deeming provisions that would creep in to make certain income, though apparently on the face of it, it would not be income in the hands of the taxpayer, but becomes so for the purpose of tax as a consequence of such deeming provisions provided by the Act. As for example, the provisions of Section 69, that is only the real income that is to be taxed. Thus, the obvious statement of Lord Macnaghten, as mentioned above, is not without significance, since any amount of tax due from taxpayer can be insisted only on the ground that income tax is a tax on income and nothing more and nothing less. Another case, all the judgments which I am going to cite, all my judgments in the Supreme Court with other brother judges. I am the author. The Supreme Court held that waste or rubbish which is thrown up in the course of manufacture could not be said to be a produce of manufacture eligible to excise duty. The zinc dross and skimming arising as refuse during galvanization process are not excisable goods. The onus to show that particular goods on which excise duty is sought to be levied have gone through the process of manufacture in India is on the revenue, and that the revenue has done nothing to discharge their onus. Therefore, the Supreme Court dismissed the appeals. Another case, it is about a ship named Koba-Kun, registered in Panama with its crew members belonging to Ukraine, was spotted by the officers of the Customs Department in the Indian territorial waters. The vessel was loaded with steel products. Traces of opium were detected on various parts of the ship. The vessel was arrested and a receiver was appointed for valuing the cargo and to take possession of it. The master of the ship committed suicide on the day of arrest of the vessel. Owners of the ship were untraceable. The government of India auctioned the ship and the cargo. The crew of the ship then filed an application claiming their wages from the sale proceeds. A single judge of the Madras High Court allowed the application and directed the authorities to pay the lawful wages to the crew and to deport them to their country, defraying the expenses from the sale proceeds. On appeal, it was reversed by a division bench of the Madras High Court. Appeal came to me and Justice Rumapal. In that case, the question that arose for consideration by us was whether the maritime lien wages of the crew ceased to exist and whether the ship crew could be deprived of their lawful wages. Allowing the appeal and setting aside the division bench of the judgment of the Madras High Court, we held that the crew members were not responsible for the confiscation and sale of the ship and cargo. It is settled law that action of the state has to be based on reasonableness, and it cannot deprive the basic human rights afforded under the Constitution of India, more so under Article 21. In view of the exhaustive provisions of the Merchant Shipping Act, and in particular Section 445 thereof, all seamen who were on board are entitled to their full wages and perquisites. They received their wages and then they were repatriated to their own country. Yet another case, a joint venture agreement was entered into between the respondent, that is in that case, and Provident Corporation USA. As per the agreement, the corporation of USA owns 75% of the equity shares in the respondent company. The respondent shall assemble and test feed VSAT antennas provided by Provident Corporation and will service, test and install these products. The Deputy Commissioner of Customs, ICD, passed an order on 11/1/2001 for loading of 10% in the invoice value of the goods imported from Provident Corporation. Appeal preferred by the respondents against this order was dismissed by the Commissioner of Customs. Against this order, the appeal came before us, and we set aside the impugned order and saying that the onus to prove that the declared price did not reflect the true transaction value is always on the department. The department is bound to accept the transaction value entered into between the two parties. Department having failed to bring any evidence on record to show that the relationship between the respondent and the corporation has influenced the price or value of the imported goods, loading of 10% of the invoice's price was not justified. The Constitution being a supreme law, every institution, be it legislature, executive, or judiciary, created under the Constitution is expected to respect its command, and no organ or instrumentality of the government, be it parliament, police, or even judiciary, can ignore it. To affirm the faith of the people in the rule of law, to preserve democracy, and confirm in the belief in the Latin maxim, ibi jus, ibi remedium, that there is remedy under the law for every legal injury. The judiciary under the Constitution is vested with vast powers to remedy the maladies that emanate from the failure of other branches of the government to fulfill their constitutional obligations. Courts cannot shut their doors when executive excesses or legislative aberrations infringe upon valuable rights of the citizens, or else people will take to the streets which will sound the death knell of the rule of law. Last year, I addressed the officers of the Reserve Bank of India at the Madras branch. The subject given to me was how the officers have to function as a quasi-judicial, at the quasi-judicial inquiries, the departmental proceedings. I said, the quasi-judicial inquiries having a partly judicial character by possession of the right to held hearings and on hearings on and conduct investigations into disputed claims and alleged infractions of rules and regulations, and to make decisions in the general manner as the courts do. Essentially, these quasi-judicial bodies are judicial in character, but not within the judicial power or function, especially as constitutionally defined. The principles as enunciated in paragraph 1 above are expected to be followed by every disciplinary authority while taking any decision which may adversely affect the rights of individuals. It should be understood that rules of natural justice are also not codified anywhere, since they are procedural in nature, and their objective is that the parties in question are ensured to get the justice defined. When a quasi-judicial body embarks on determining disputes between the parties or any other administrative or disciplinary action is in question, adherence to rules of natural justice as recognized by all civilized states is of the supreme importance. Rules of natural justice serve as hedge against any blatant discrimination against rights of individuals. These rules are indeed intended to prevent such authority from doing injustice. They seem to be recognized by Article 21 of the Constitution in a way which says, I quote, "No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law." This is that procedure which is held by the courts to be the rules of natural justice. In one decision, recent decision of the Supreme Court, delivered by the former Chief Justice of India, K.G. Balakrishnan and two others, they decided on narco-analysis, brain mapping and polygraph test. The Supreme Court, they held that the act is valid, but however they added an rider in which they say, if with the consent of the party, this test can be done. After going through the entire judgment, I wrote an article in Hindu, in the op-ed page saying that this judgment requires a relook. The Hindu in its page said, "It's a welcome verdict, but a questionable rider." I said in my article, I also refer to another opinion of the former Supreme Court judge, Justice Thomas. He says, narco analysis is a crude technique in criminal investigation. He said the trial of a criminal case should not be one meant to convict the accused, but one meant to ensure that an innocent person was not convicted. Had the Supreme Court examined the veracity of the impugned technique from this angle, it would not have been room to the rider on the test done with the consent. A careful reading of the discussion in so many paragraphs of the judgment in criminal appeal number so and so, it runs in favor of a total ban on the test. However, how many people will know the real meaning of consent and its legal implications? Those who will be affected by this rider will be a common folk. It is for the Supreme Court to re-examine the issues and give a clear-cut verdict in public interest, in the interest of the public as well as in the interest of the department people, the officers. Customs duty now forms one of the significant source of revenue, especially in developing countries like ours. The Customs Act provides for the levy and collection of duty of customs, conferring power on the customs personnel to raid, search, arrest, penalize, and exercise quasi-judicial powers. The intention of the legislature is to put an end to smuggling, which has the effect of disturbing very rudely the national economy. Smuggling of goods have become a serious problem in the country, steered by a well-knit international racket. Any act or omission which renders the goods liable for confiscation amounts to smuggling. Customs officers are empowered to inspect any premises, conveyances, and persons and effect search and seizure in cases where they have reason to believe that the goods are of a contraband nature. They also have the power to investigate, to interrogate a person connected therewith and arrest him. India has a serious smuggling problem because of the import control restrictions, particularly for consumer goods, and high rates of taxes on the one hand, and extensive land borders and sea coast on the other. Strategic location between the Golden Triangle and the Golden Crescent has turned India into a transit country for narcotics as well. Smuggling in arms, ammunition, and explosives is also a more serious phenomenon. Customs Department till has recently been exercising regulatory control over possession, transfer, transport, and sale of specified smuggling prone items called the notified goods in the interiors as well. Before I conclude, I heartily congratulate the Chennai Customs, whose jurisdiction is very vast in geographical areas. When the other day, two of your officers, Mr. Chandrasekhar and Mr. Mani, when they called on me, I asked them to give and furnish particulars about the action taken by the department and what is the revenue earned by this customs and other details. He has furnished me all the details. See, net revenue realization up to December 2015 is 29,109 crores, which shows a growth of rupees 6,356 crores over the corresponding period last year. The net revenue realized up to December 2015 shows a growth of 3,846 crores against the moving target. The percentage of revenue target is also achieved, 83% and 83.52%. they have also given me the comprehensive figures for all India revenue for December 2015, and in particular the Chennai Customs Zone. I came across, this is very important, the humane approach of your Chief Commissioner here. I came across a press release recently issued by the Chief Commissioner of Customs regarding procedure for duty, free clearance of materials being received from abroad for relief and rehabilitation of people affected by floods, recent floods in Tamil Nadu. By this press release, the public, charitable, and other voluntary organizations were informed that the customs duty on foodstuffs, medicines, medical stores, clothing, and blankets imported by charitable organizations, Red Cross, for free distribution to the poor and needy. The press release also say that in case the public, charitable, and other organizations are not covered by the conditions of the notification, they can apply for on behalf of the exemption under Section 25(2) of the Customs Act. In my view, the action taken by the press release given by the Chief Commissioner has helped the public at large and charitable and other voluntary organizations involved in relief and rehabilitation of flood victims. I really appreciate from the bottom of my heart the steps taken by the Chief Commissioner and the team of his officers in this regard, which is commendable, which shows the humane approach by the department. I also asked the officers to give me the details, furnish the details about the certificate, meritorious certificate given to some of your officers. It was furnished to me. I am very happy to mention and read those names so that others can emulate their example and follow their footsteps and then bring laurels to the country. Every year, I am told, the officers of Indian Customs are honored by the World Customs Organization, Brussels, Belgium, by way of issue of WCO, Certificate of Merit, by recognizing their exceptional international community. This year, one Superintendent of Customs has been conferred with the said Certificate of Merit for his excellent contribution in customs preventive operations and modernization, digitalization, and automation computerization of customs process, which not only enhance the trade facilitation measures, but also customs revenue. I congratulate him. The above revenue is in continuation of conferring of the said WCO award on SM Mani, Additional Commissioner of Customs last year, 2015, for his exceptional contribution to Indian customs and to the international customs community as a whole. I congratulate him also. Also, one Mr. Nagendra Rao, the then Additional Commissioner of Chennai Customs, was issued with Presidential Award for the year 2015 for the distinguished record of service. And I am told, I think he should have received by now. He will be receiving the same during the celebration of the Republic Day in New Delhi on 27. You should have received it yesterday. This continuous recognition of the work done by the officers also shows the commendable performance of Chennai Customs Zone under the able leadership of the Chief Commissioner of Customs and the efficient administration of the department by the commissioners and other senior officers. I once again thank the Chief Commissioner and other officials of the department for giving me this opportunity to express some of my random thoughts. I enjoyed every minute of my stay in this evening's pleasant function. I wish you all, by the grace of the great architect of the universe, for all prosperity and happiness and peace of life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We have heard Needi in Kural and the judge speaks through the pages of your right. Indeed, it was with utmost pleasure we heard in Kural in person. It was also a learning experience for all of us as to how to express one's logical thoughts effortlessly yet very effectively, holding the audience spellbound with words of wisdom. Thank you once again, sir. Chennai Customs Zone would like to present a memento to our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan. I request our chief government honors, please. This custom house has produced many presidential award winners and WCO certified officers. In the same spirit, our chief commissioner has decided to appreciate excellence shown by our officers, and this year 6 of our officers have been chosen, and I request our chief guests to present their certificates of appreciation, please. First, I call upon Shri T. Arivalagan, Deputy Commissioner. Shri T. Prabhakar, Deputy Commissioner. Shri Vijaya Krishna Velan, Deputy Commissioner. Shri C.M. Madanagopal, Assistant Commissioner. Shri M. Chelladurai, Superintendent. Shri R. Krishna Kumar, Preventive Officer. Thank you, sir. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but it is the parent of all virtues. And it's time for Thanksgiving. May I invite our Commissioner Appeals to Shri Sanjay Kumar Agarwal, IRS, to deliver the vote of thanks, please.
Distinguished chief guest of today's function, Honorable Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, former judge of Supreme Court, respected Ramesh sir, Chief Commissioner of Customs, Chennai, distinguished guests, which includes Vice Chairman, Settlement Commission, members of Settlement Commission, members seated, members of Legal Fraternity, and retired Chairman of Central Board of Excise and Customs, retired member of Central Board of Excise and Customs, other retired senior officers, my colleagues, officers and staff members of the department, representatives from trade bodies and stakeholders, and members of press, ladies and gentlemen. I feel proud and delighted that I have been given the responsibility of thanking the dignitaries present for today's function. First of all, I would like to extend our heartiest thanks to Honorable Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, former judge of Supreme Court of India, for agreeing to grace today's function and sparing his valuable time to be with us and enlighten us with his wisdom and vast experience. Justice Lakshmanan has delivered judgments on wide variety of indirect tax matters, and we keep on referring and looking to these judgments for guidance and decisions in discharge of our day-to-day function and duties. Sir, the citation of the case, customs case about arrest of the vessel and the humanitarian approach which you have adopted in delivering a fair and just judgment is a reflection of your humanitarian approach in delivering the judgments. Thank you, sir, for your august presence. I place our sincere thanks and gratitude on record for Ramesh, sir. He is always a guiding force and perennial source of inspiration. Thank you, sir, for your guidance in organizing the function. I also thank other dignitaries for gracing today's function. I thank Shri Madan Gopal, Assistant Commissioner EDI, for making a presentation on RFID and uncleared cargo tracking system, which links us to the today's theme, that is digital customs progressive engagement. This topic is very apt for today's theme, and this project has been taken first time in the India, and Chennai Customs is pioneer of it. I thank members of trade bodies, importers, exporters, and customs brokers for their presence in large numbers. This reinforces our belief and faith that we, customs and trade, are marching together hand in hand in generating revenue for the country to meet the demands of socio-economic activities and well-being. I thank the media persons for covering the event and expect that they will give it adequate space in their media to send a message to the viewers and readers that we are moving towards a brighter future. I thank the officers of CHS for organizing the function meticulously and worked tirelessly to make it a grand success. I thank the canteen staff for the refreshments which they are going to provide us. And thank you to one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chennai Customs Zone invites all the special invitees, the Principal Commissioner, all other commissioners and the other senior officials to join the Chief Guest and the Chief Commissioner for high tea and enjoy the pleasant breeze of Marina at the 6th floor Custom House Terrace. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तव जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय